Good evening, Year 11. This is your final night before news for your maths exams. It's paper 3 higher tomorrow morning. So you obviously had 2 out of the 3 papers now. Let's have a look at what came up in paper 1. You can pause and have a good look at that if you need to. And then what came up in paper 2. So what will be in this final paper? Again, we have this caution, this warning that it's not a guarantee at all what I'm saying in this video. It is just a best guess scenario. We can look at what's come up in those 2 papers and we can think about what has not come up again, what has not come up yet, which is still a high frequency examined topic. It doesn't mean that topics that have come up won't come up again, because sometimes they do repeat topics across papers. And it also doesn't mean that what I'm saying here is guaranteed to come up in that paper tomorrow. But I feel like it does make sense to revise the topics that we know we haven't seen yet and prioritise that over something that has already come up. So these are just providing some areas to focus on. And I know, probably like a broken record now, but remember, we haven't finished the course yet. So there is a chance that there could be some topics in the paper that we haven't yet learned, but you should not concern yourself with those. You will not be expected to get those questions correct. You're not expected to go away and revise those independently or try and teach those to yourself this evening. So, algebra. I've deleted the things from the last video that did come up that we said hadn't come up yet, so that just leaves us with what you can see on the screen. Equations of tangents, sequences. Sequences, obviously, we could have linear, we could have quadratic sequences, geometric sequences, inequalities, solving linear ones, solving quadratics, algebraic fractions, simultaneous equations. There's still lots of choice of stuff that we haven't seen yet. Geometry, similar. I've deleted what came up in paper 2. So that does leave us still with quite a few things. We've got angles in parallel lines, angles in polygons, volume and surface area, area for trapezium I've singled out because we haven't seen that at all yet, beyond some other area questions. Further trigonometry. So I'd be very surprised if that doesn't come up at all. So we've got area of a triangle, half AB sine C, sine rule, cosine rule, all things you've actually done very recently in maths. Statistics and probabilities, obviously we've had cumulative frequency now, but that just leaves us with still quite a few statistics topics that haven't come up yet, and also probability. There's loads of types of probability questions. It's a huge topic. Every chance we could see some of that tomorrow. Number, again, deleting what came up in paper 2. We've got bounds, we've got standard form, distinct lack so far of the sort of repeated percentage, compound interest-y, reverse percentage-y type questions. So I'd say high possibility of that tomorrow. Ratio and proportion, I mean, again, it's such a big topic that I don't think we've seen much of yet. So I would expect to see some more ratio questions in your exam tomorrow. So again, what should you do this evening? Hopefully you're quite familiar with all the resources I'm going to signpost to you now, but it is worth doing again. So I would pop yourself onto Sparks, go to independent learning, check that you're on GCSE, and then type in literally any of those topics, and you'll have options and lots of different tasks and questions that you can be answering, and like helpful videos to give you hints. On exam queue again, check that you're on higher. That's the most important part. Less important because it doesn't really matter if it's a non-calculator question, if it's on the right topic, because you can still put those types of skill-based questions where the calculator doesn't help into papers 2 and 3. But then again, just type in any topic you want in that box there. And remember, you've got that mark scheme so you can see exactly where and how those marks are awarded. Maths Genie, so make sure you go to GCSE revision, and then you've got a list of topics you can choose from. And similarly on Corbett Maths, go to the videos and worksheets page, and again you've got a whole list of topics where you'll get practice exam questions with solutions. And then finally first class maths revision, and then again just make sure you're on Edexcel and not AQA or OCR. And you've got a list of all the topics, although it's not all the topics in the GCSE scheme of work. There's a lot there, and what is there is very, very good. And if you want to do whole papers, you'll find all the past papers from maths on Maths Genie. So go to Maths Genie, GCSE papers, and then make sure you click on Edexcel exam papers, and again check that you are on higher. So tomorrow morning, hub open from 7. Bring in some questions that you haven't been able to answer. You'll have loads of maths teachers down there, as you should be well aware by now, and we're all willing to help you with any of those last minute questions that you've got that come up from revision this evening. We'll move into the revision and conservatory and do our breakfast warm-up grid in there as our final piece of revision before line up and going into the exam. That's everything from me then. Good luck with your revision tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.